First off, before we get into anything here, I have to tell you, because of this Roe v. Wade thing, I walk into the studio today and sitting on my desk, one of my guys printed this out for me and just left it on my desk. There is Clarence Thomas. Today is obviously a very good day for him and people that like him. Yesterday was his birthday, so it almost happened on his birthday. But we got to start with Roe v. Wade being reversed. Got a little something from Town Hall to kick us off here. Breaking, the Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade, returning abortion law to the states. And Libby, since you're joining us today, we often source the post-millennial, but we did it for you today. The Supreme Court on Wednesday released a ruling in the case of Dobbs versus Jackson. Oh, right, Friday. Why does that say Wednesday? That's an error on post-millennial. We just copied and pasted it.
Yeah.
We just copy and pasted. The Supreme Court on Friday released a ruling in the case of Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. They have overturned Roe v. Wade, which legalized abortion at the federal level. At issue in the case was whether all restrictions to abortion prior to viability are constitutional or not. The decision, a draft of which was leaked in late April, essentially overturns the landmark 1973 ruling in Roe v. Wade that federally legalized abortion. Now, the decision on whether or not abortion is legal returns to the states. So broadly speaking, I think we're all somewhat like-minded on this in that we're states' rights people. We don't like government overreach, and we do like personal choice. Jeffrey, I want to start with you here, since I know that so much of what I just said there is in your pedigree, it's in your blood. I sense you look at this as a good day.
I'm glad it came out this summer rather than waiting closer to the election. My own prediction is that this whole thing is going to be not a big existential threat to privacy and human rights and everything else. All it does is devolve it to the states. And the states that have liberal laws now will continue to have liberal laws. Those that have tighter laws will continue to have tighter laws. It takes the battle back to the states. And I think everybody's going to calm down pretty soon. I would give it in 2 months, we'll realize that it's not the end of the world. The decision is right. And we can put this as a national issue behind us, and I will be very relieved for that.
Wait, Jeffrey, are you telling me you're not predicting a summer of peace and tranquility when the riots are coming and they're burning cities down and CNN is telling us that it's all in the name of tolerance and diversity?
Yeah, I don't believe any of that that's going to happen. I think it's a little bit of, but the shock already happened with the leak, right? I mean, that already went through about 48 hours of freak out, and there'll be more of that in light of this decision. But I think everything's going to calm doan, and people realize that it's a state level battle. The battle will continue in every state, and things will settle down, and we'll go back to the system should have had from the very beginning. This whole issue should have been regulated by the states according to the constitutional structure. It was inevitable, if we have a Supreme Court that takes the Constitution seriously, that at some point Roe v. Wade was going to be overturned. And that's in the name of social peace. This is the right way. I think it should have happened a very long time ago. And as I say, I think we're going to have a patchwork of laws all over the country. And fortunately, the thing that's vexed us for all these decades, which is this national abortion rights struggle, can just go to the states, and you can pick your state, and some will have liberal laws, some tighter, and we'll move on as a country. That's the way the American system is supposed to function, and I think we're going to find that we're okay with it. I think people on all sides are going to be okay with it.
Right.
I'm going to disagree.
Go ahead, Dave. Disagree. Let's go.
Yeah, I got to disagree with Jeffrey. I completely agree with you in terms of where we should be as a country, and yes, of course, and I agree that the ruling was properly decided, and also that the original Roe v. Wade ruling disfigured politics about this issue for the last 50 years, but I don't think there's any hope of sort of going back to normal and like, okay, everybody embrace federalism now, because the left is built its conception of government in opposition to federalism. Mm-hmm. Their answer for this is not, okay, well, we lost here, which means we'll just have to suck it up and offer unlimited abortions in blue states. I mean, yes, they will do that, but the rationale for their entire program falls apart if they cannot get this done at a federal level. They want everything done at a federal level. So I think what's going to happen now is the rhetoric is going to be dialed up because they understand their activist base is smart enough, or at least the Democrats in power, let's say, are smart enough to understand that this isn't about abortion as much as it's about their entire suite of issues and really the way they wield power, the way they conceive of their wielding of power through the administrative state. So I think what's going to happen now is they're going to go full bore to try to pack the court, in addition to all kinds of administrative, fixes as you suggested on the state and local level. But they're going to be putting up a fight everywhere. There's no shortage of money. I think lefty nonprofits and PACs and sort of all this stuff, even dark money groups, which the left has. Everybody's going to be positioned to push this because I think they understand exactly how much of a threat this is to their entire program.
So it's interesting. It's interesting because I sense, before Libby jumps in, I sense we're all probably in agreement on the idea that there was no federally constitutional guaranteed right to an abortion. It's simply not in the Constitution. So I think most people can understand that, regardless of whether you have a personal feeling that you should allow abortions for a certain period of time or not. What you guys are differing on is now how the left basically will react. So Libby, it's funny to me in a weird way because the states were already doing vastly different things on abortion. Texas already had 6-week limit. Florida, which you guys know I love and live in Florida, Florida to me did something super interesting. Only 3 months ago, the Florida legislature in this red right-wing state led by Don't Say Gay Ron DeSantis passed a 15-week ban, which doesn't even go into effect until a couple of weeks from now. But it wasn't even controversial here, meaning that a state that's mostly red already was compromising on abortion. So is that the weird thing when it comes to the outrage that we're about to see, that the states were already making up their mind? If you want an 8.5-month abortion, congratulations, Gavin Newsom will do it for you personally.
Well, I think what we're going to see this summer, I think we're going to see radical, unhinged leftist feminists going out there and trying to burn stuff down. I don't think it's going to matter to them that you can get an abortion in some states and not in other states. They're going to see this as a racist, white, cis heteronormative assault on freedoms and trans rights and women's rights and every kind of conceivable thing that they can come up with. They've already threatened it. We've seen it with that group, Jane's Revenge, the leaderless, pro-abortion, militant activist group that's, started fires and put graffiti all over the place. We've seen this, and they are poised and ready for another summer of rage. It doesn't matter to them that states can do what they want. It doesn't matter to them on gun rights that now, states can't necessarily just trounce all over 2A rights. They don't care about that either. They want what they want. They want to control other people. They want to control Americans. They want to enact their bizarre ideas of morality and these weird values that don't value life and that are not concerned with personal liberty or freedom. And that's what we're going to see. We're going to see crazy people running around in the streets all summer thinking that they have a right to destroy things just because things didn't go their way at the federal level.